The Detroit Lions head to Baltimore to face a tough opponent in the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're very beatable, but tough nonetheless. And we've got to get that taste out of our mouth from Justin Tucker from 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. We remember that very well. And hopefully the Detroit Lions remember that also. But the Detroit Lions are going to have a tough task, but they had one last week and they were able to overcome a tough opponent on the road. They have not lost, meaning the Detroit Lions on the road just yet. And I'll tell you my thoughts at the end of the video, but here are the stats. The matchup predictor from ESPN gives the Detroit Lions a 45.7% chance to win this game, with 53.9 for the Baltimore Ravens. Jared Goff, 141 for 203, 1,618 yards with 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Have not thrown a pick in the last 2 games. We need him to continue to play that way. Lamar Jackson, 121 for 173 for 1,253 yards, 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He almost has a 1-to-1 ratio for throwing interceptions, which is crazy, to touchdowns. Dave Montgomery, who has missed a game and will miss tomorrow, is the leading rusher. 94 carries, 385 yards, 6 touchdowns. And here we go again. Surprise, surprise. Lamar Jackson, 60 carries, 327 yards with 4 touchdowns. Zay Flowers is their receiving yards leader with 35 receptions, 367 yards, 1 touchdown. St. Brown missed a game and is still the Detroit Lions receiving leader with 38 receptions, 455 yards, and 3 touchdowns. When it goes to the injury report for the Detroit Lions, two names really stand out. Jerry Jacobs has been downgraded to questionable. The Detroit Lions put that out on Twitter. And Marvin Jones is a non-factor nonetheless, but he's out. He will be staying behind in Detroit for family reasons. I'm not sure what they are, but he has had a whopping 5 catches for 35 yards, I believe it was, and he went 3 consecutive games with no interception. With no catch. And surprisingly, so the 3 games that Jared Goff threw interceptions, Marvin Jones didn't have catches. So I guess that is just a coincidence. Now, when we go to the yards, total yards, Detroit Lions get almost 400 yards at 393.8, and the Baltimore Ravens 353.7. Yards passing, 269. To the Baltimore Ravens, 208. Yards rushing, 124 to the Baltimore Ravens, 144. Yards allowed, the Detroit Lions allow 307. The Baltimore Ravens allow 295. Passing yards allowed 242 for the Detroit Lions and 197 for the Baltimore Ravens. Rush yards allowed. The Detroit Lions are still number 1 by just over a yard here from the Philadelphia Eagles with 64.7 and the Baltimore Ravens with 97.7. Last 5 opponents. The Detroit Lions have 1 loss in overtime in week 2 and have won each of their last 4 games by 14 points. Some record that's set when they did it against Tampa Bay. The Baltimore Ravens are actually 3-2 of their last 5, and the Detroit Lions are 4-1, and they have a streak of win-loss, win-loss, win. So you already know that a loss is coming there. I love when I see stuff like that because it lets me have a little fun. I'm not sure that's going to happen that way, but I like to have a little fun. So the Detroit Lions have the number 1 rushing defense. It's their passing defense. We're ranked right in the middle of the pack. I want to say maybe about 18 or so. The Baltimore Ravens have the 2nd overall defense. All right. They are playing lights out when it comes to defense. Their passing defense is 2nd overall. If I look at the total yards when it comes to their defense, they are 2nd in total defense. That's what I thought, allowing 260 yards per game total. Their total yard. So they're really tough on defense, compared to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to be a harder opponent. But the way that we can beat them is to score points. They only average 22 points a game. The Detroit Lions are 4th with 28 points a game. It's going to be I want to say the Baltimore Ravens are in the top 10. No, they're 16th. They're sick. So the Detroit Lions passing defense is where the Baltimore Ravens scoring offense is, where they rank scoring, right in the middle of the pack. The key to this game is to protect Jared Goff. We got to get the run game going, even though they allow less than 100 yards per game. And we have to stop Lamar Jackson. Since he's been drafted, he's been their entire offense. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am not a fan of Lamar Jackson in any shape, form, or fashion. His game to me is one-sided. He is not that great of a quarterback, but I'm from the old school. I've debated with people in the comment section about who was better, Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson, just throwing the football and a better athlete nonetheless. And Michael Vick was something special, and Lamar Jackson has nothing on him, right? So bias aside, if you watch, as a matter of fact, I have a nickname for Lamar, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but check this out.
He's the funniest guy who gets the job done. Likes how-tos, renovates, so fun. Man, he's so crazy, better pick up the phone. Lamar Wilson.
Lamar Wilson. I'm not being disrespectful. Listen, Lamar, you beat Lamar, you stop Lamar, you win games. They got Odell Beckham Jr. So what? They got Zay Flowers. So what? We have to game plan around their defense. That's what we have to do. Now, here is something that we've never seen on the Detroit Lions in the regular season. We have never seen Jameson Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs on the field at the same time in a regular season game. We're going to have to get both of those guys going. Jahmyr Gibbs has to carry the load. Dan Campbell said he's ready, but we need him anyway. So he's going to be out there regardless because we are hurting at the running back in the running back market. So what do I think happens tomorrow? I think it's going to be a tough game, hard-fought game. But one thing I know is that my team is ready. My team is there's no more, they're not going to move the goalpost. They're going to come out, they're going to play, and they're going to do their best to stop Lamar Jackson. I almost called him Lamar Wilson. Lamar Jackson. Do their best to stop him. We stop him, we win. We got to account for Mark Andrews as well, all of that stuff. But Lamar wants to become a pocket passer, and they're struggling in that regard. That's probably one of the reasons that the offense is in the middle of the pack, because he's trying to pass the ball. He's doing okay, but he's not doing great. But as you can see from the ESPN stats, the dude is the leading rusher on their team. He is their offense. You stop the offense, you stop him, you stop the offense, you win the game. And from what I've been listening to, I do my reconnaissance and I listen to what other hosts are saying about our opposition. And they're saying that if the Ravens get behind, then they kind of start playing, they kind of fall apart, right? So they lost to teams that they shouldn't have lost to. They lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have a horrendous offense. Matt Canada, you'd be surprised how many people I hear calling for his job. They have no offense at all, and they won. Ugly game over there. They also lost to the Indianapolis Colts. They wouldn't have beat the Cincinnati Bengals if Joe Burrow was 100%. They beat the Cleveland Browns, and that was with a rookie quarterback. So do I have us winning this game? I absolutely do. If we get ahead, we can stay ahead. We really can. I think the Lions win this game. I think we see big games from Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams. I just believe that. So stop Lamar, win the game. Those are my thoughts. It's always been like that. That's all you have to do. Just stop, make him pass, win. My worry is that the Detroit, it's not a worry like I'm getting ulcers or anything, but Lamar likes to do these draws as well. We cannot let him beat us. That is the goal of this. Do not let Lamar Jackson, a.k.a. Wilson, beat us tomorrow and we win this game. I don't care how good their defense is. Our offense is rolling. We got St. Brown. We got Jahmyr Gibbs. Jameson Williams got some confidence. We can beat the Baltimore Ravens, and maybe, just maybe, some respect will finally be put on our name. They'll stop moving the goalpost, and we can get that respect that we should have by now, because who did we beat? Why do the Baltimore Ravens why are they're favored by 3 points to win this game? Who have they beat? The Cincinnati Bengals would hurt Joe Burrow. The they beat the Cleveland Browns without their starting quarterback, and they beat the Tennessee Titans, who are terrible. So how are they better than us? So let's go ahead and get this dub and get this win. I know this video went on a little long, but this is the only one I plan to make today. So it ran a little longer. And finally, for the last time, the ticker below me is for the Uno's live stream watch party. Okay. Tickets are still for sale, so you can get them if you want to come and hang out with us tomorrow. We'll be going, I would say, get there about 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, get your seat, because some people I'll probably set up at the front near the TV. So, but they have tables in the back as well that'll lift you up a little higher that you can see over the rest of the people. They did lift the television up if you guys were there from last time. It's up like a good foot and a half. So it's definitely better. I went up there the other day and checked it out. So come on, hang out with us and have some fun, man, because we are having fun. This is a great time to be a Detroit Lions fan. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I will see you tomorrow at Uno's Pizzeria for the Detroit Lions Week 7.